So the topic given to me is steps in filing patents in India. I would divide this session into two parts. uh, I will not directly jump to steps in filing patent application. I would first cover the pre-steps of filing patent application in India. That's very crucial and important. Okay, and then we will jump to the actual steps in filing a patent application. So before even entering into actual filing procedure in India, there are few steps you need to follow, which we usually call as a pre-steps or precautions or kind of things. So you should first of all aware of what is meant by invention and what is meant by patent. Is everyone aware of what is the difference between discovery and invention?
Not also.
Okay, so let me put some time on giving you the basics, because I personally feel unless and until you are clear about what is meant by invention, what is meant by patent, which type of inventions qualified for a patent and which are not qualified for patent, and then once your preliminary study is done, then actually you step into actually doing the patent filing step, publication, examination, grant or refusal. Okay, so basically invention means it has mainly two criteria. One is it should be new. When I say new, it should be globally new. You cannot say something is known in Japan and that same product or process is not known in India and then it's qualified as a new. No, it should be globally new. And how we judge it's new or not? We conduct a patent search, non-patent literature search, then we conduct book references, even we refer the research articles, even the published thesis we refer. And then we need to say globally that particular proposed product, molecule or formulation or process is new. Okay, and then second criteria is very critical, which is called as an inventive step. Okay, I'll give one example in next slide so that you will have a clear concept of inventive step. So once you arrive at a conclusion, okay, I have done one research in my lab or in my college and I conducted a search and I found that it is a novel. So first tick is done, that's your product is or process is novel. Then you need to evaluate whether my proposed product, process or invention is inventive or not. Now in India, inventive step means your proposed product should be technically advanced or economic or both compared to the existing knowledge. Okay, and then third criteria is your proposed invention should have a industrial application. For example, you are developing a medicine, then of course it will have some industrial application because ultimately it will be manufactured and sold to the public, and then of course there will be consumer or patient who will be consuming your product. So these are the three criteria: novelty, inventive step and the utility. I'll briefly explain again three with the help of example. Now what is mean by patent? Once you understood that okay, your invention qualifies for three criteria: one is novelty, second inventive step, and third is industrial application, then you apply for a patent and then you follow some steps, and then if patent, your proposed invention qualifies for these three criteria, patent office usually grant you a certificate, which we usually call as an exclusive right. And usually this right is something we usually call as a negative right, because by getting right you are actually preventing others from making, using, selling your proposed product or your product which is covered under patent. So it's a negative right. It kind of giving you a monopoly to stops other. So act never says what you will get after getting a patent. Instead it says after getting patents you will stop other from copying your invention. So this is how we call as a negative right. Okay. Okay, I'll quickly take you some time to explain the steps the criteria of novelty and inventive step and utility. Okay, you can stop me if anywhere you feel like, okay, this part is not understood. Okay, now let's take a simple example. I think everyone knows what is this. Anyone can tell what is this?
Stethoscope.
Yes. So there are two stethoscopes on your screen. Left side is a blue color and right side is a black color. So anyone tell me where is, let's say black color one is your invention. Okay. And what is the novelty you can see in the stethoscope? Where is the novel feature in this stethoscope?
Sir, something electronic device is connected to the end.
Yes, yes. So you will specifically, when you have developed this, let's say black color stethoscope, okay, you will conduct a search and you found that this is the blue one is the closest prior art, which is available either in the market or it is published in the some kind of journal or patents. And then you realize, okay, this particular, you are able to see my arrow, right? Which I'm moving on the screen.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So you realize, okay, this is the part which is differentiating the black stethoscope from the blue stethoscope. So novelty lies over this portion. Okay. Now you need to justify where is the inventive step. So anyone can easily think as a, as a common person, what do you think this feature, if this digital thing is novel, how you will justify inventive, how it is technically advanced over the existing stethoscope, how you will give a justification? Just give a thought. I'll explain, of course. You can give a thought.
Based on their added applications.
Further,
Sir, maybe this device gives the perfect how many heartbeats are there in a particular time.
yes. So basically, when you are going for justifying inventive step, what you need to say is, what is the drawback of the existing stethoscope? So existing stethoscope, if you are using, or usually even medicinal practitioner nowadays use the left one, which is blue color. So what is the drawback with this stethoscope, or what are the difficulties faced by physician? He has to manually hear, right? He has to manually hear your heartbeat, and there is a possibility that it's a there is a possibility of manual error, right? He has to count manually, okay, how many beats in a minute or 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and there are chances that he has to pay attention or he may miss out and he may note like 70 or 73. So there is a margin of error. Whereas your technically advanced stethoscope will provide you a digital display of your, let's say, heartbeat. Okay. Now question comes is, because of the digital display, your stethoscope become novel. Okay. But the examiner will say, okay, displaying something on a digital platform is a known technology, for example. Okay. It may be your watch, or it may be your mobile, or it may be any device wherein, displaying something digitally is not a big thing. So he will say, okay, then I understand this is novel, but I feel it's not inventive. It is obvious to a person skilled in art to just fit a display in an existing stethoscopes. Then how you will justify? No, it is not just fitting a display. What it requires?
It is more accurate, accuracy wise.
No, no. Let's not go into application part. Okay, that's its preciseness, accuracy. This is like end use. But while making this stethoscope, what you need to put, which will act as an inventive or technical advance, or why it is difficult to put digital display on a existing stethoscope. I'm trying to reframe my question. For example, let's think in a direction. Can you take any digital display? Let's say you have a watch and you have that known technology of how to display the figures on a display platform. And can you take any watch and put on the stethoscope and it will work and it will count your heartbeat?
No.
So technical here requirement is it should able to measure your heartbeat, right?
Right.
And then it comes to accuracy and precision and etc. etc. So there you require some modification or improvement, and you cannot just put a digital display on existing stethoscope and it will count. So there lies your inventive step, how it was difficult to place a digital platform on the existing stethoscope, and that actually qualifies for the inventive step. Do you get the answer?
Yes.
I'll give one more example. For example, a very simple example from your pharma. You know aspirin, which is sold as a Disprin or something, yeah? And you know paracetamol. For example, there is a prior art which is talking about paracetamol tablet, and there is another prior art which is talking about aspirin tablet. Okay, there are two prior arts, and then you come up with single tablet which contains the paracetamol and aspirin. Okay, so examiner, let's say, come across only two documents which are talking about the single drug containing tablet, and you come up with a single tablet containing two drugs. Okay, and if there is no prior art or no marketed product, then your product qualifies for novelty because there is no single prior art which will disclose all the feature of your invention. So what are your all feature of your invention? One tablet containing two drugs, right? One is aspirin and second is paracetamol. So novelty is qualified. Now examiner will come and say, okay, Mr. Prashant, your invention qualifies for novelty. However, tablet containing paracetamol is known, tablet containing aspirin is known, and the excipient used for making tablet is known. The technology for making tablet, like it may be dry granulation, weight granulation, or direct compression. I don't know what next technologies are there because I'm right now not in pharma. Then he will say, he will cook his story and say, okay, because of that, you know the dose of the paracetamol, dose of the aspirin, you know excipient, you know tableting technology, and that's why you just combine these two drugs and come up with a single tablet. So it is not inventive. Or he will say, or she will say, this is obvious to person skill in art to combine one document with another document and come up with a single tablet containing paracetamol and aspirin. Did you get this?
Yes.
Yes.
So while you are doing research, always remember, unlike your research article, here in patent, it's very important to establish inventive step. So take a simple example. So what you can do is you can play around the weight ratio. You can say, okay, conventional dose of aspirin is like this and paracetamol is like this, but we come up with a specific weight ratio of these two drugs. And because of that, we are able to reduce the dose and still we are getting the synergistic effect compared to the additive effect. Hope you guys are aware of the difference between additive and synergistic effect.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
So 1 + 1 = 2 is additive or synergistic?
Additive.
Additive. Yes.
Additive. Thank you. So you need to establish you are putting two drugs in a specific proportion, and because of presence of one drug, efficacy of another drug is enhanced. This is how I believe the synergy is, established. Yeah. And then, for example, you move to another example. Let's say you are doing extraction for your pharmacognosy, and you know ethanolic extract, you know methanolic extract. Then examiner say, okay, mixture of ethanol and methanol is too obvious for extraction, and Soxhlet apparatus is known for extraction. So what you will do, you will conduct so many experiments and show that, okay, when I use methanol and ethanol in 3:1 proportion, I am able to extract maximum phytoconstituent, which are maybe responsible for final antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, or any wound healing activity or something that, then you will establish that I have performed several experiments, I perform various ratios, and the extract obtained by different weight ratios, I tested for it may be a zone of inhibition or antimicrobial activity. And then I realized 3:1 gives me the best result. And because of that, I am establishing inventive step that I'm not claiming just a combination of methanol and ethanol for the extraction of, let's say, Withania somnifera, but I am specifying that the weight ratio between ethanol or volume ratio between ethanol and methanol is 3:1. And this 3:1 is supported by example, which shows the enhanced efficacy. And this is how you will justify your inventive step. Any question here?
No, sir.
No one has question on inventive step?
So participants can unmute and ask the question if they have.
See, trust me, patent filing procedure is very simple. It is not a rocket science. Even a guy studying in 7th or 8th can understand by reading slide that what is the procedure or steps in filing patent application. But this is the two things which are very critical. One is understand novelty, and then second, understand the inventive step. Yeah, that's very, very, very critical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, as there is a huge data available on internet also, So how we can search all the data that proves our novelty?
See, first of all, you need to see, you need to find out keywords, okay, appropriate keywords and their synonyms, and then probably you need to use and or operator. That is first step. Second step is, for example, if you are looking for herbal related, let's say anti-diabetic formulation, don't search for allopathic and everything. Focus your search on in a Ayurveda or herbal related thing. Then search for, let's say if it is Withania somnifera, then search for its synonym. It may be ashwagandha or something. Put as many as synonym for this particular one keyword, and then combine the keywords in the query language, and then you will have various database, free database and paid database. But usually paid database we prefer, we use it for, sorry, because paid database cover all the countries patent database, whereas in free database you need to conduct search on various countries websites, and then you need to gather data. Sometimes the data is duplicated and you need to deduplicate by simply reading manually, whereas in paid database we are able to search the non-patent literature, patented literature. We can apply a filter wherein we can deduplicate the results, and then of course it's paid data, so it charge something to you, but it makes your job easier.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Just for curiosity, I want to ask that the data must be available electronically.
Yes.
If something is available not on internet, it's just a hard copy available, like our traditional knowledge. So will that not consider?
We do have a data for traditional knowledge at the Indian Patent Office site, so where we can actually search. Earlier it was only physical copy, but nowadays it's a digital form available, so we can access that. See, for example, if your invention is new, recent one, you don't have to really check in the books. If it is very fundamental concept, then you might get a reference in the book. Otherwise, if it's very new drug or new molecule synthesized by you, you don't have to actually check into the old books or kind of non-published documents. Yeah, but you can certainly refer the patent documents, because these are the advanced sources to get the recent information. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's move to second slide. Okay, this is the last step before actually you going for filing a patent application. You should have a clear-cut idea about what is patentable and what is not patentable, okay, in India. So any process which is related to medical, surgical, curative, prophylactic, or treatment of human being or animal is not considered as an invention. For example, you come up with some method which is very good for diagnosis of HGPT level or maybe uric acid level or something, but it is considered as a diagnostic method. So there is a way out to handle this. You propose a kit claim, okay, a kit containing this ingredient, that ingredients, and leaflet, and this is how you need to modify. That's why you require experts' help to change your actual language of the invention into patent language. Then mere discovery of new form of a known substance is not invention. For example, in chemistry, you develop sometimes salts, this esters derivative or polymer, maybe alpha, beta, something like, and you file a patent application, and patent office object under section 3 says that, okay, this is a new form of known substance. For example, there is a molecule called as, let's say, imatinib, which is anti-cancer molecule, and you come up with imatinib mesylate salt, okay, and you apply for a patent for imatinib mesylate. So examiner will cite this section 3D particularly, which says new form of a known substance is not invention. Why? Examiner will say the activity is because of the molecule, okay, anti-cancer activity is because of the molecule, not because of the mesylate salt or ester salt or whatever salts are there, okay. Then it is very important to show in your specification or in the patent draft that there is a comparison between only imatinib versus imatinib mesylate. And if you prove that there is an enhanced therapeutic efficacy for mesylate salt, then your invention will overcome this section 3D objection and you will qualify to get a patent, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is very, very challenging, and you can see so many cases going in India, even High Court judgment and Supreme Court judgment, and wherein even Novartis was against Indian Patent Office side. That's you are refusing our applications. But this is very clearly defined in Act. You have to have a comparative. You cannot provide solubility data and dissolution data. When it comes to, let's say, activity of that molecule, then you have to have a therapeutic efficacy data. You cannot say physical properties are improved or compression properties are improved. No, patent office is not going to consider that. You have to have a data. At least in vitro analysis should be there to support your claim that though it is a new form of a known substance, but it has an enhanced efficacy. Similarly, there is a section 3E which says mere admixture of two ingredients is not invention. But I gave you just few seconds back an example of paracetamol and aspirin. So examiner will consider this is a mere admixture of two drugs, and two drugs will act independently. They have their inherent property. For example, paracetamol acts as a antipyretic and aspirin acts as an anti-inflammatory. Hope I am correct. Yeah. And then examiner will say it perform its independent function, and person having two things suffering from two things. One is fever and inflammation, and he can take one tablet and each drug will independently perform its activity, and you will get a relief for headache as well as, for example, for fever. So you cannot claim I combine two drugs together and one tablet is helping a patient to cure two disorder or disease or two conditions, right? This is how you cannot justify. So you need to show that synergy, that it's not a mere admixture, but is a mixture of two drugs in a specific proportion resulted into enhanced efficacy. Okay. Okay, then of course, if there is a traditional knowledge which says turmeric has a wound healing activity, you cannot, actually claim turmeric things in your invention. Of course, there are ways out to, you need to show, okay, this extract was known, but we come up with this fractionation and we isolated curcumin and then we tested for this, and that's how it has an enhanced efficacy compared to only plant extract, maybe stem extract or leaf extract or bark extract or something. Yeah. I'll not go into details of other things, but just quickly, if you come up with any mathematical method or formula, scientific principle, or if you are discovering something which is already existing, or you develop a machine which will remove oxygen from the environment, then this is against natural law. So your mind is probably a destructive mind. So it's not allowed as an invention. So, okay. Try to invent something which is useful for consumer or the customer, okay, not to distract or something. Yeah. Okay, this is important. Like you should aware of where we have patent offices. We have Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata. Earlier there was only physical filing mode was available, but we right now can file online, and it's quick procedure, and you can get a patent application number in 2 hours or 3 hours by filling all the forms. Okay. Why these 4 offices? Usually these 4 offices divided into territorial jurisdictions. So for example, we are sitting in Pune or Mumbai or in Maharashtra, we have a Mumbai patent office. If you are from Delhi or something, you have a Delhi office, and then Chennai, if you are from Andhra or Karnataka, you have a Chennai filing. And if you are not falling in any of the states, then you can file at Kolkata, which is head office of Indian Patent Office. Okay, now this is the important thing I would like to convey to you. Who can apply for a patent? See, as an individual researcher, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, even 15 people can file a patent application as an individual inventor. Second is assignee of the person. When I say assignee, for example, I'm working with BASF. Though scientists have invented something, patent can be filed in the name of BASF Chemicals. It may be filed in the name of DY Patil. So when you file in the name of assignee, all the rights goes to the institute or company or whatever is the organization. Yeah. And then third option is your legal representative can file a patent application for deceased person. Deceased means mara hua insan. Yeah. So for example, something is happening like, you are on the verge of dying. Okay. Don't take me wrong. Just remember, if you know Shah Rukh Khan's movie Kal Ho Na Ho, where he was about to die, and he come up with one idea and which is brilliant, and he want to file a patent application. So he can give right to, maybe Preeti Zinta or maybe Sonali Bendre, and then she can file a patent application on behalf of Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, don't go into the movie script. Okay, don't just focus on patent. Okay. Yeah. So the point is, even you are dying, you can file a patent application. Just what is required is you have given a power of authorization to a legal representative to file this invention for him. Okay. And of course, you require the term of patent is 20 years. So the rights starts from the day of filing your patent applications. For example, you file in 2021. It's October, right? So October 2021, today is 23rd October. So you add 20 years. So it's like 2041. So 23rd October 2041 will be your rights of patent. Thereafter, it will be a public property. And of course, the patents are territorial. Having said that, territorial means if you file a patent application for your invention in India, your rights will be restricted to India. Okay. Anybody who want to copy your product in Germany or China or Japan, they can copy and sell in their country or sell in a country wherein you don't have a patent protection. However, they cannot sell or manufacture in India because your patent is available in India. So the companies like BSF, who's having let's say more than 1 lakh patents portfolio, we usually select countries where is the prospective market, where we are going to sell the product, where we are going to licensing out, and then we decide a country. That's my job. We decide a market, I decide a country list, and then I prepare inventions and file in every country. So you need to keep in mind, inventions are not global patent. Okay, you need to reach in every country, file it everywhere, and get it granted. Okay, it's not that you have a Indian patent and you have a global right. No. Okay. Okay, now we are moving to the actual steps of patent filing. So for example, you have some idea or research. Let's say first step, you have just idea, you have a concept, but you really don't have a result. So one option Indian Patent Office gives you to file a provisional application to protect your idea. So this is your first step to decide, do you want to file a provisional or complete? When I will file a provisional, when I have only concept or idea and I yet to receive the experiment or result or data or interpretation. Yeah. But why I will go for provisional? To protect idea. Sometimes it happens that you are working in a lab and some are very notorious students or researchers who will steal your idea and file patent application before you. And the law is like whosoever files first get first right. Okay. So if you are not in a position to keep it confidential, always prefer to go for filing a provisional application, get the patent application from the patent office, and then you work on your remaining experiment. And within 12 months, you can file a complete specification. So there are two routes. One is go for a provisional, complete your work in 12 months or 1 year, and file a corresponding complete specification. It's a two-step procedure. Whereas if your experiments and everything is ready, then you can, of course, directly go for filing a complete specification. Now, remember, when you go for a first choice, you can file as early as possible with just even one pager document is sufficient. It doesn't require any claim, abstract, but it never get published, never get examined, never get granted. So always remember, if you chose for provisional application route, make sure that you are filing a complete specification within 1 year. Okay. And of course, the complete will then publish, examine, granted. It will have a detailed specification with claim, set, experiments, results, yeah, drawing, etc. Any question about or confusion about provisional complete?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now these are the steps. So you prepare either provisional or complete specification, then you will file at the patent office, either physical or online. Okay. There is a e-filing module available wherein you actually require a registration. You require a digital signature. Okay. So far my knowledge goes, only registered patent agent allowed to, file online. Otherwise, the normal person usually file physically by using speed post. Okay. But usually physical filing takes time to get a patent application number, whereas in online you get immediate. The next step is the publication. Usually publication happens after 18 months, which is 1.5 years. I'm saying after 18 months. Okay. And office has not specified what is meant by after 18 months. So it may publish immediately after 18 months. It may be published in 19th month, 20th month. Sometimes you need to follow up with the patent office why it is not published yet. Okay. Then the third step is examination. Examination, there is one prerequisite that you need to file request for examination, okay, within 4 years from the date of filing. So you have a 4 years time period to file a request for examination. It never get automatically examined. For example, sometime it happens with academic that they file a very good invention at the patent office and they just forget to file a request for examination. And after 4 or 5 years, they sometime realize because of XY reason, it may be academic requirement or it may be accreditation or XYZ reason, or principal asks or the dean asks or the director or the, yeah. And then they realize, okay, we haven't filed any request for examination and because of that, your application is abandoned. And you cannot do really anything once the deadlines are missed. These are statutory deadlines, okay? So whosoever attending this as a lecturer or professor, please keep in your mind, you only have a 4 years time period, which is more than enough to file a request for examination. If you are not filed, please do file request for examination. And once you file a request for examination, you will get an examination report. Typically, it is called as first examination report. And then there will be some formal objection. There may be novelty objection, inventive step exception using some prior art. And then you need to prepare a reply. And that's we called as a response to examination report. We prepare a response to objection and the timeline is 6 months. Earlier, it was 1 year, but now it's 6 months to file a response to the examination. Of course, this can be extended by another 3 months by paying extra fee. But of course, you need to file extension before the actual deadline. Once deadline is over, you cannot do anything. So on a broader note, you have a 6 month plus 3 months. So total maximum 9 months you will need to respond to the examination. What will happen if you don't respond to examination report? It is assumed that you are okay or you are accepting the objection and you have accepted that your invention is not novel or not inventive and you don't want to proceed further, and automatically you will get a refusal notice, okay, and then you cannot do anything. And of course, then if you file a response to the examination report, either your invention can be accepted as it is and granted. It may require some modification in the claims or modification in the scope of your original invention. And then it will be granted with some amendment, or last option is it will be refused. Yeah. Of course, you have a choice to file an appeal against or review petition against the decision of controller. That options are available, but very less likely, opted by individual. Usually companies go for filing appeal against the controller's decision of refusing the application. Okay. So these were the deadlines I was talking about. If you are going for provisional, make sure file in 1 year, you're complete. Publication in normal route, it happens after 1.5 years, that's 18 months. And then if you go for a speedy publication, you can pay additional fee to government and they will publish in 1 month rather than waiting for 18 months. So that's also possible in India. Then as I mentioned, request for examination, you need to make a request for examination within 4 years from your date of filing. So for example, today I file a patent application at the IPO. So today's date is 23rd October 2021. Calculate 4 years. So you have a time till 2025. 23rd October 2025 is the last date to file your request for examination. Now, question in your mind may be like, why to file an examination? See, lakhs of patent applications filed in India for the sake of filing, but very few people are serious, and those who are serious should get opportunity. So those who are serious will file a request for examination, and accordingly, serially, your application will be examined based on the date of request for examination. So it's always recommended that you should file a request for exam. Ideal way is the day you file a patent application at the Indian Patent Office, same day or next day you file a request for examination. So all the process is done at one go. You don't have to remember in your mind, okay, just for the sake of arranging money, you should not wait for more months. If you wait for 4 years, if you wait for 4 years, then your prosecution will get delay, grant will delay. So it's always good to file a request for examination at a very early stage. Okay, I have already explained to this. If you get a examination report, you have to reply within 6 months, which can be extended by 3 months. So what are the documents required for doing the filing procedure? One is Form 1. This is called as application for patent. Here you mention, title of invention, who is the applicant? Is the applicant your institute, or applicant is inventor, or applicant is combination of inventor and institute? And then you mention the title of invention, you mention the inventor, their residential address, applicant, its address. Then you will also mention whether it is deriving any priority from foreign country like US, Germany, China. If answer is no, you can say no. And then you will have some other details, like if you are hiring patent agent, then name of the patent agent, address for correspondence. And then it will have like number of pages, number of claims, and then finally date and signature. And of course it will have a tick mark, like is it a provisional, it is a complete, it is accompanying with drawing, does it have a biological material like microorganism or something, or like essential oils or something. If it is microorganism, if it is a new strain which is not reported yet, it's required to deposit at MTCC, and then you get accession number, and you need to mention the accession number in the specification. So these are some tick mark, and then your form 1 is ready. Then form 2 is actually your specification, which is your draft. It may be provisional or it may be a complete specification. So specification, if you Google any patent on Google platform, you will see there is a title, there is a field of invention, then there is a background or introduction, then there is an object of the invention, then there is a summary of the invention, then detailed description, experiment results, and then there will be claim set, and then there will abstract, and then will be drawings. I think somebody in this series probably will be taking about specification. I'm not aware of, so I'll not touch in depth about how the specification is written and what are the contents. Okay, yeah. And then next form is required is form 3, which is undertaking related to foreign filing. So you need to mention to patent office that this invention is filed in India. There is no corresponding application we have filed in USA or Europe or any other country. As and when we file, we will communicate to you using form 3 extension. So that is called the annexure to form 3. But this is a mandatory to update patent office that is there any outside application filed by you. And of course, there is a declaration of inventorship wherein you declare for this particular research or invention, these are 2 or 3 inventors who have worked on the invention. Yeah. So that is a declaration of inventorship. So this is the required documentation. Yeah. Now I'm open for your questions. If you want any topic to be covered out of these slides, I can take up. I don't know what's the time.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. Sir, okay, participants can pose their questions in chat box, or they can unmute also if they have any questions on this content. Sir, there is one question that like in research publications, we have sequence of authorship based on their contribution. So is there any such thing in the patents, like first inventor, second inventor?
No. All the inventors will have an equal and undivided right. So it's not like who is the first inventor. In USA, yes, first inventor has a equal importance like applicant. For example, BSF file patent application in USA, and first inventor is Prashant Patankar. Then by default, USA says Prashant and BSF has equal rights when we will sell this invention or commercialize this. In India, no. All the rights will go to the applicant, and there is no importance of sequence. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if your name comes at fourth thing, you will have equal share. Having said that, you always can practice. Usually, this is practice in major institute or companies that we will have a internal agreement wherein we decide a share of each inventor. If this get commercialized, let's say Mr. Ravi will have, let's say 70% share, then Prashant will have 20%, and then 10%, something like. There is another agreement. If institute is applicant, then you can have an internal agreement saying that if this invention get commercialized, DY Patil will retain 50% of the profit and 50% will be distributed in the inventor. And then again, you will have sub agreement that, okay, this is the main inventor who conceived the idea, and then he will get major stake. So these agreements are critical if you're going for commercialization.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
Suppose the patent is published. So
Okay.
I am suppose an employee of DY Patil, and
Mhm.
when I was applying my patent, I applied it through in my name.
Okay.
Um, can I add the name of the institute as an applicant after publication of the patent?
Yes, you can. The only thing is you need to see the difference in the fee and the difference you need to pay to patent office. This is done through deed of assignment, wherein you make maybe ₹1 agreement, wherein you say this was the original applicant, and this is the address, and this is the title, this is the application number, this is the first assignee, and now we want to change first assignee to second assignee. So assignee and assigner. So you will be assigner, and then you write I am the assigner, and the next assignee will be, let's say, DY Patil and your name, or it will be only DY Patil, something like. You can always make that. Just
Okay.
require one agreement
And-
which we need to submit on the stamp paper.
Okay, and any additional fees we need to pay for that?
For example, now let's say before 21st September, if I'm not wrong, there was huge difference in the fees. Individual, for example, fee was 1,600. For institute, it was 8,000. Okay, so you need to minus 1,600 from the 8,000, whatever the amount remains, you need to pay to the patent office. But from 21st September now, fees for institute and individual are same. So the applications filed after 21st September, we don't require to pay any difference. But if it is earlier filed, definitely for each step you need to. For example, in your situation, if it is published but request for examination is not filed, okay, then there may be a thing like individual will be charged for 4,000, whereas institute supposed to be paid 20,000. So probably if you have filed, then you need to pay difference of 16,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you just
Thank you so
require two things. One is deed of assignment, and second is the difference in the fee.
much. Okay.
I am right now not very fully aware of whether for the previous cases which were filed before 21st September 2021, and if you want to make some changes after this date, will they charge as per previous notification, or they will accept the present fees? If they accept present fees, then it's good. Then you
Yes.
don't have to pay
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So there is one question in chat box.
Mhm.
If someone already applied for provisional patent and not
Mhm.
done the complete submission,
Mhm.
can the same idea be file again for the patent?
Yes. Now, as I mentioned, provisional never get published. When it is not published, nobody will know what is the content of that specification. Okay, so this will not even considered as a published prior art. So what you can do, for example, you only miss the deadline of complete for the sake of, let's say, your work is not complete, or you feel like I don't want to file a complete, and you missed it. Then you can again apply for a patent with the same content, and your novelty will not be questioned based on your previous year's provisional, because that was unpublished. Similarly, other person can file. For example, one researcher working under you file a provisional, he did not complete research work and left the college. Then second year, somebody conducted a search, you can file a fresh application. The third situation is if it is complete one and if it is published, then you cannot file a repeat application. Otherwise, your first application will be cited to question novelty. Even if you publish a research paper before filing patent application, and then that research article belonging to you only, that can be used as a novelty questioning document. So it is always advisable before publishing any research article, at least file a provisional application at the Indian Patent Office. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir, in academic research, the many patents are filed, but they reached up to the publication level, so or maybe granted. So, how will you? So, will you guide us on about how one should approach for the commercialization or tech transfer of those patents?
Right. See, don't take me in any statement or word as a any allegation. Okay, just this is a disclaimer. What I have seen is it's okay to file patent applications at initial stages, maybe 3 application, 4 application. But the first important approach after 3-4 application from the institute or researcher should be, okay, what topic I have selected, what is the relevance of this topic. It should not be something, okay, I felt that turmeric has a good wound healing activity, and I'll try to find out other part of turmeric plant for the same activity. Don't go for that research. Best option for commercialization is, for example, you are into synthesis, okay, or you are into formulation. Let's consider synthesis. Then you need to see, okay, fix a area. Okay, what is the demand, market demand right now? Let's say it's anti-cancer or it is antiviral because of the corona situation. Then you see what are the molecules available which are effective and which belong to the good companies. Then you find out their search, do the search and find out, okay, what is the space occupied by, for example, Novartis. And you can see their development, technical development. Okay, first they come up with, let's say, imatinib, then nilotinib, and then sorafenib or something they come up with. Okay, and then you realize, okay, there is one molecule missing. If you look at the structure chemistry, and you realize, okay, if I do modification over here and come up with a new molecule, and that may have a potential theoretically, if you analyze, okay, this may go with the good activity, then this is a potential invention to file a patent application, do the testing, and then publish it, and then approach company like Novartis. Well, I have compared this molecule with your current range of anti-cancer drug, and this has a potential. And then, of course, the company like BSF or Novartis will do their own analysis and study, and then, but if they like your test results and the invention, definitely either they will acquire your invention entirely and they may pay you maybe 2 CR or 5 CR or 20 CR, anything. Don't consider I'm just giving figures. Yes, even we have procured recently some invention, 2 invention even at 8 crore rupees. Okay, so don't underestimate, or Prashant is just for the sake of saying something. Yeah, if the invention has a potential, provided my company has that research line or production line, I'm into that business, then for me it is easy to sell that product. Okay, and whether your product is fitting in my pipeline, if answer is yes, this is the best way to commercialize it. Second is, if you have not thought of this earlier and you just perform some invention, you got a patent, and then you need to look after who will be my prospective buyer for this product. For example, you come up with some digital invention, then probably you need to see which company. For example, you come up with a battery invention, and trust me, don't restrict yourself to pharma. Invention can be from any tech domain, and it can commercialize in any domain. So let's say example, you come up with some cathode material. It may be a nickel, cobalt, or manganese, and then you come up with some invention with the help of your engineering department or something, and you realize that, okay, this battery required maybe only 20 minutes to fully charge. Okay, then you have a prospective buyer, EV companies, EV mobility. So similarly, you come up with a dissolution apparatus. You will have 2 options. Either you manufacture on commercial scale and then check whether I have freedom, I have money, I have marketing team. Simple way is find out who are the players, but make sure that those players are authentic and actually a genuine buyers. Okay, otherwise they will copy your idea and then they will commercial, and if they are big players, they will just throw you out. So everything require a proper agreement. Even before disclosing idea, you should have a non-disclosure agreement with the prospective company, and then only you disclose your idea to that company. Yeah. For example, if some company is working on, let's say, soil improvement, and you have some idea from the microbiology background that this material will definitely will work on a pomegranate issue or something, maybe BBD disease or something, and then black spot can be removed, then why not? Then find out which are the agriculture companies manufacturing such kind of insecticide and pesticide, and then you see their portfolio, and then you propose your invention with results, and then good chance to get commercial.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
go ahead.
can you add on the formulation aspects for patenting? Like if you have to formulate, patent any formulation, so what are the aspects for that?
Formulation as in, yes, of course. See, broadly, two inventions get granted. One is product, second is a process. Now in product, it may be any composition, it may be any formulation, it may be any product, it may be any medical device, it may be any mechanical device. So everything fall under product category. Whereas process, yes, anything you involve any steps. Even it may be making a tea, simple tea, herbal tea, that is a qualifying. So when you say formulation, what is requirement? Of course, what is the ingredients of the formulation? Then what are the excipients you are using? Of course, what is the proportion? If you are varying the excipients, why these excipients were chosen? So you have to have a negative results of non-performing excipients. And of course, you will have a testing examples. Okay, we tested this formulation for antimicrobial activity or something. You will require to justify inventive step. Yeah, it may be nano emulsion, it may be your novel drug delivery system, or it may be any layer tablet, it may be a immediate release plus sustained release combination tablet. You just have to justify where is the novelty and inventive step. Yeah, with the help of we call as a positive data and negative data. For example, you come up with a fuel additive composition, and your aim was, if there is a petrol and you have a fuel additive composition, so if you add this proportion with this amount of petrol, your mileage is improved by, let's say, 4 kilometer per liter. So when this is the concept in my mind, I should know what is the fuel additive available in the prior art. Okay, it may be Jatroba oil or neem oil or XYZ oil. Okay, then ideally it is required that you should have a data. Let's say only petrol mileage was, let's say, 13 kilometer per liter. With the prior art additive, which let's say is a Jatroba oil, the mileage improved to 15 kilometers. So improvement is 2 kilometer per liter. And you come up with, let's say, neem oil plus Jatroba or something, and mileage is improved by 5 kilometers. So 3 kilometer improvement in the mileage, you cannot make in air. You need to write a data how we tested our fuel additive on an engine vehicle. And this is the data, and maybe tested by some agency or some lab. And this is how I will justify my formulation has a novelty in inventive.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. I'm sorry, I am not able to hear you, sir.
Am I audible now, sir?
Yes.
Yes, now, yes, sir. You're
Yes. Thank you very much, sir, to have with us today. And thanks for sharing your all expertise, industrial experience with us today.
Yeah, so I assume there is no more questions.
Yeah, there are no questions in chat box.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just take 1 minute of your students. This is just out of way. I would like to share something with you guys. You can ignore it, but trust me, patent field pays very well. There is no salary restrictions. If you have a capability to analyze any kind of invention, if I have to give my example, I am from pharma background, but I am working with emission catalysts. So my job is I handle globally portfolio of BSF for Audi, BMW, Volkswagen Group, wherein I'm handling the emission catalysts. I know what are the next engines coming for down the line 5 years from BMW or Audi, or even from Volvo or something like. So don't restrict yourself that you are pharma graduate and I can only do pharma. Increase your horizon. Invention is throughout the world is same. You just have to analyze, okay, what is the concept? What problem it is solving? What are the advantage? So don't restrict. If you happen to come in IP field, anytime you can contact me, reach me. I feel I have good years of experience in IP. I have changed like anything, like I remained in IP, but I will give advice on my basis that don't restrict yourself. If you want to make money out of your intellect, patent is a good department. Additional advantage is you may feel like I'm praising my department, but trust me, for 1.5 years, I'm working from home and I am getting, in fact, more salary. Okay. No salary cut in the IP, because those companies who believe in invention, they know that one invention will give them millions of dollars. Okay. So choose a company who respect invention, make a career progress. In fact, it's very good for the girls or women because they can sit at home, they can relocate with their husband. I'm touching this point, but trust me, this is a good point. They can move to any state or any country even, and they can work from home. And most of the companies nowadays allow to work from home, and you just require two things. One is internet and laptop. Okay, and of course you must have brain, so you can easily analyze the inventions. And trust me, salaries are good. Even at my stage, people will get 50 lakh to 1 CR, 2 CR, 3 CR salaries. Okay, so it's not like, even initial salaries are minimum 50,000, 60,000, provided you show some skills. Okay, I know basics of the patents, I know how to analyze. It may be any fuel additive composition, it may be any catalyst, it may be pharma, it may be cosmetics. Just understand how to analyze. And patent, if you go into patent, yes, you require some analytical skill. If you go for drafting, yes, you require good writing skills, but nowadays your tools like MS Words and Google gives you grammar correction, so you don't have to worry really about it. But what you require is to understand what is in exist and what is improved. So if you're able to find out difference, IP is very good. If you go into even licensing, if you like a law, but unfortunately your parents force you to come in pharmacy and you are not liking drug, then always think about law, legal agreement, how commercialization. For example, every invention coming to my desk, I evaluate, okay, what's its possible potential strength, what amount I will be generating, whether we will be manufacturing, whether we will be going for commercialization, who are my OEMs who will be buy. For example, Audi. Then I have a plan. Okay, I will earn $600 million out of this invention. And then I ensure that patent is filed properly, drafted properly, protected in various countries, 38 European countries, and then 150 countries other the world. And then we decide a royalty agreement. And then sometime you also enjoy the, licensing part. So it's not about patent
मी
means
बोलू
just,
का? मी बोलू?
yeah.
हो.
Okay, so this is what I would like to share with you, the experience. And the second excellent opportunity is like, you apply for a patent agent exam. Even in final year, you can apply. Unfortunately, last year and last year, it didn't happen because of Corona. Become a registered patent agent. If you don't like to work in any law firm or office like BSF or Novartis or something, you can practice individually. You just write one specification in a month and charge 50,000 or 25,000. And if you are happy with one invention in a month, you can practice individual as well. So trust me, patent will not left you alone. It will always give you money. So I would suggest, think about this career. And nowadays, so many multinational coming in India, and they are looking for, even 4 days back, I was looking for a guy who knows some kind of chemistry and having 1 or 2 years experience. And I was ready to pay 9 to 13 lakhs, but I'm still yet to receive a candidate who knows chemistry, simple chemistry. Yeah. So this is the facts that companies are coming up, jobs are available. Only thing is that you need to approach and you need to present yourself. So I'll stop my gyan and